Hello, my beautiful nail family. This is Raven from Raven's Reviews, and welcome back to the channel. So today we have cooked up something oh so delicious. Today is where a huge nail dream comes true. Now, since the beginning of my nail journey, I have wanted to get my hands on this bad boy. And I have to say thank you so much to Saviland for reaching out and sending these goodies. They not only sent out their rechargeable cordless airbrush, but they also sent over 12 of their already mixed airbrush gel paint. I am fangirling all over the place. Now, whenever you walk into a salon, you get that classic smell, and that is not only monomer, but I swear to heavens, at least at the shops that I used to go to, the airbrush machine was working overtime. And the moment that I opened up these gels, it was like an instant scent memory in the best way possible. I got transported to my very first ever salon appointment, and I was just so excited to learn everything that comes with using an airbrush. Now, using an airbrush for nails is not new. As I was saying before, even back to my first salon appointment, they were doing this, but they were doing a mixture. And that mixture is a little bit of gel paint and acetone. And because they're pros, they could just mix it instantly. But getting the perfect dilution, it's not always easy. Now, if you are mixing it yourself, you're going to want to go for a more milky consistency over something that's watery. The more watery it is, it will basically drip off the nail. You want it to hug effortlessly. So they already took out all the stress and gave already diluted gel polishes, and I'm losing it. So first of all, I am the kind of person that I don't like instructions. I'm going to be transparent. I usually throw it away and I just start playing with whatever technology device I get, and then I learn as I go. But I realized with this, that's not the best approach. So I actually went through this entire manual, and it was so handy. It let me know everything I needed to know to set up my airbrush, to properly care and clean it, and then also use it flawlessly. So this is my very first time ever using an airbrush, and I am so impressed with the results I got. So I'm going to be sharing with you some tips and tricks from using the airbrush, learning about it, and then also what's in this manual. So it's really important for you to keep your airbrush machine clean. Now, as you saw, they give you everything dissected. So everything is dismantled and you have to put it together. Now, at first, I was so anxious. I'm like, I don't want to break anything. Then putting everything together. And then basically in the manual, it was saying in between each color, you have to change out. So you have to cleanse it. And if you have used it for longer than 30 minutes, you have to discontinue, stop use, let your machine cool down, and make sure that it's clean. So essentially every 10 minutes of using this, you should double check and clean it, because clogs are the enemy. It can break your machine, and we don't want any of that. So I just want to go through some of the specs, and then I'm going to explain how to fully set up this machine, but it is incredibly user-friendly, and as you saw, all of the pieces fit together effortlessly, and once you get to know the pieces of your airbrush and how to clean them, you are going to have so much fun. So before I get into all that magic, when you first get your machine, it is not charged, so you need to make sure that you fully charge it, and upon fully charging, you have 30 minutes of use. Now, I think that's kind of genius because it is very easy to get lost in the sauce and keep airbrushing, and that will overheat your machine and ultimately take the life out of it. So this already has everything built in for you, so you can just spray and go. Flawless nails have never been this easy. As I go through these 12 stunning colors, I am going to swatch every single one of them. I am also going to use some stencils that I purchased because, we got to go full tilt here. We want to test the aura, the ombre with stencils, the whole kit and caboodle. As I go through all the colors here, I want to read you a little bit from this instruction manual. So this is the Cordless Airbrush for nails. And I do want to apologize as I'm reading this. I'm having horrible allergies, so any kind of sniffles, I do apologize. But let's get right back into it because the show, it waits for no one. So first off, before I continue reading, these stencils I was able to find on Amazon, and I will include that link or the multiple links in the description box below. But I could not get an airbrush sent to me without getting these goodies because I wanted to test out the capabilities of this bad boy and just really put it to its limit to see when you're using it on a client, when you're using it on yourself, what are the limitations? What works, what doesn't work? And until you troubleshoot all of those things, you shouldn't be using it on anybody because, again, you don't want to fall into issues while you're working with somebody. You want to learn all of those things beforehand. And that's why I really appreciate getting to swatch each and every single one of the colors they sent because I learned so much. It made things so much easier as everything went on. So first of all, you can actually turn on the machine by holding it for 5 seconds. And when it turns on, it actually begins blowing. And this freaked me out because I thought the moment that you put anything inside, it is going to spray everywhere. It doesn't. That's what the trigger's for. So that made me very happy. And also, it's very important to note that you need to use PPE. So you make sure you are working as safe as possible for yourself and your client. So I would encourage, if you're working on somebody, that you also give them a mask as well. So I used fully, because I'm just the allergy queen, I used my safety goggles, my mask, and my gloves. And that just provided a good barrier as well as a well-ventilated area, and I had my fan on. There is never enough precautions when it comes to safety. I think it is very important. Again, we are turning gel into a mist, a fine mist, so that can be inhaled, and that is where huge issues can lie. And that's why people talk about health and safety in regards to airbrushing. But as long as you make sure that you are taking care of your lungs and anybody around you, you will have the most flawless ombres and you're going to have so much fun with this machine. But again, I can't say enough, keeping this machine clean is essential. It is the only way that you are going to be able to get a good life and longevity out of your airbrush. Now they include these little pins. They give you individual pins for each one of the airbrush gels. And this is crucial because they are airtight. So you will not be able to just squeeze and go. You will have to puncture the lid and then you are able to dispense it, which I was so impressed with the pigmentation. It is so bright, amazing. Now, when I first did this, I didn't put enough in. I had to put a little bit more in. So my kind of instinct was to kind of go less. I didn't want to waste, but you do have to have a good amount inside of it just to have that free spray, like the perfect spray. Now, I got medical Q-tips, and these ones are completely different than your classic Q-tips that are more cotton. These are actually firmer and really good for cleaning this machine. So I used that through and through the entire time because, again, I had to change out 12 different polishes. So that meant I was cleaning this machine and cleaning until I couldn't clean anymore. But in doing that, it really made me confident because I learned the pieces, I learned how this machine worked, and then it just made every single time I had to switch out a color that much easier. So I'm going to show the full process of how to clean it 2 times because this is a really crucial step. And if you don't do this step, you're going to have the worst time. Now I'm going to go back into reading the manual, and then that's going to also, I'll be able to read exactly how they say to clean it, which is also how I did it in this video. Saviland Rechargeable Cordless Airbrush is a pneumatic tool that can spray a variety of media. It utilizes the latest stable air pressure technology, providing precise paint and airflow with 3-level air pressure adjustments, enabling intricate and delicate work. You can use the airbrush on nails, tattoos, faces, drawing, clothing, or as beauty products to moisturize your skin. The features include quick and stable painting, 3-level air pressure adjustment, and 0.3 millimeter nano nozzle. Now, this is cordless and rechargeable, as it was stating before. It takes 1.5 hours to fully charge and allows 30 minutes of continuous use, making it stable for on-the-go usage. Now, as I was saying before, the fact that this is locked in at 30 minutes of usage is amazing because through the safety instructions, it lets you know that using it longer than that can burn out your machine. So in that way, they have already taken out all of the guesswork because you can't go over the time allotted. It will just stop. So I do know that if you're working on somebody, that can become frustrating. But in the same aspect, if you prepare ahead of time and charge and have all of your things out and make sure that as you're using the machine, if you're not spraying, you turn it off because there is a constant airflow and that does draw battery. So with all of those things being said, once you get the hang of that, you are off to the races, my girl. Now, it is very important to read all of the safety instructions before using so you do not break or damage your machine. Make sure you check your cord and device before using, and if it is damaged, ensure that you do not use this device. You want to make sure that it's functioning correctly. Only plug this device into the voltage system that matches with the device, or it will void warranty, and only use the original power cord. So you guys are going to see in this video, I definitely did not do that. I used a different one, but all the other times I charged it, I made sure to use its specific charger. Now, because it's a USB-C, it's like the new USB, I just used one that I had, and after reading the instructions, I thought, ooh, I don't want to break my machine. So I quickly went back and ensured that I was only using what they had given me. Now, it says, please clean the machine chamber properly after use to avoid nozzle blockage. We were talking about that earlier. Do not allow water or any other liquids to enter the interior of the machine. For better performance, mix all paints with a diluent to achieve milk-like consistency. Now, it says test airbrush with water to check for clogs before use. So I did that in the beginning. And then ensure nozzle cap, spring guide, and chucking nut are tightened. Allow the air compressor to cool down for a few minutes after 30 minutes of continuous use. If the trigger feels sticky, apply airbrush specific lubricant. Now, as you saw, I just went through and cleaned the machine. I did this with 99% acetone. It's really important once you fill the chamber that you, using a paper towel, apply pressure on the nozzle, and that pressure will actually, and then pull your trigger, it will allow a bubbling action to happen. And that means anything that is in that chamber or any extra nail polish will just get picked up through there, and then I spray. And I keep spraying until I spray clean. And you, if you continue using that method, you will have a very happy airbrush and you will make sure that each spray has the consistency you want. If you aren't also cleaning it properly, you're going to have your solutions mixed together and it's going to muddy your beautiful pigmented gels, and you don't want that. This is only my introductory video on this airbrush and how to use it, how to clean it, and to spray till your heart's content. But follow for more because I am going to be doing more airbrush tutorials and more step-to-step guides on how to take care of your machine. Because it goes without saying, a happy machine is going to equal a very happy nail tech because you will not have to fight with your tools. Now, I am so impressed with this airbrush machine, y'all. I have never used a tool like this at all, and I was very intimidated. I thought I was going to be spraying things all over the place and it was going to be messy, and I was just really anxious to swatch 12 of these because, again, it meant that I was going to have to clean and possibly take apart this thing 12 times. But let me tell you, that is the boot camp you need, because by the time you finish swatching all of those colors, you're going to have such a better grip on how to use this amazing tool. Now, as you guys know, anybody that is in the nail world or a nail enthusiast alike, Aura nails went crazy in 2024, and it went all the way into this year. So if you're like me and you want the most darling Aura nails and flawless ombres, grab yourself an airbrush. I will have all of the information in the description box below. I adore you, my beautiful nail family, and a huge thank you to Saviland for sending these goodies out. I hope wherever in the world this video found you, it found you so well. For all of you beautiful humans that just found me today, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It truly helps this channel grow so that I can keep making gorgeous nail content for you. Sending you so much love and light. See you in the next video. Mwah.